Hi peeps, I'm excited to finally bring you a new process video. I'm working on a 6x12 enlarged photo today. This is going in my 2019 Project Life, which I did as 9x12 pocket pages for the most part, with inserts that were 6x12, including the dividers for each month being an enlarged photo, which I decorated. My Project Life for 2019 was roughly monthly. Ended up being almost weekly, but I tackled it monthly and then just put as many photos as I wanted. I am showcasing Color Cast Design's latest release. It's so yummy with fall, which I am dying for because right now it's about 110 degrees and smoky here in my area of California. I also pulled some Simple Stories Fall Farmhouse, which is their fall line last year. I have their new line, Cozy Days, coming to me somewhere in the mail at the moment. I'm excited to get that. So I'm going to use Fall Farmhouse, which is so sweet too. I don't expect I'm going to decorate very much because it's just an enlarged photo insert. But I did pull also a few other things because I want to use this combination on a few different projects. Some trims and buttons, some Felties, heart Felties from my own shop, whimsyfox Crafts, and stitch tabs from there as well. Not sure what of these I'm going to use on this, but my other projects for sure. I also pulled out some Distress Oxides, including new colors that I just got, Speckled Egg and Crackling Campfire. I love the Distress Oxide sprays to use as mists, but I am not sure if these will work out on this. I love the look of mist on a photo. I've done that before. It looks really great. But this photo has a lot already going on in the background that looks speckly. So I'm not sure if it's going to work. I did print out a smaller version. So this is a tip I have for you. The 6x12, I print myself at home on a wide format printer. It is the Canon Pro 100. I'm a big proponent of printing at home. I do it on 13x19 sheets, and I have templates in Lightroom where I have different sizes, including a 6x12. So it'll print 3 on a big sheet. But before I print my final photo, I like to do a smaller version just to test the color, because any printer you get, it is not going to match your screen. And then if you have multiple screens, you don't know which one it will match closest to. So I always do test prints. In the case of this one, because I wanted a big enlargement, I went ahead and printed it on 4x6 paper. I like to use the satin or luster or semi-gloss paper. That's my favorite. My test print didn't have enough contrast, so I bumped that up. That way my final print was what I wanted and I didn't waste that big sheet of paper. I'll link up to the printer if you're interested in this sort of thing, the printer and the paper. I'll link up to anything that I can find that I'm using on this project. But anyways, I'm going to get to it now. Time for speeding up. I start with the big October 10 because that's a big element, and I take out all of the things I think I'm going to use, anything with leaves obviously. I'm looking to see what will contrast well down below, and I like that circle with the fall breeze, autumn leaves the best. I grabbed some of the small chipboard leaves to see if I wanted them interspersed with the acrylics, but I didn't like the white outline. I felt like they stood out more than the acrylics. To tie things together, I wanted to bring one of those acrylic leaves down to the circle below. Breaking them all up seems like a good idea. And I went into the die cuts. That Hello Fall instantly attracted me when I saw it in the back of the package. Adding that little bit of aqua to break up the monotony of the colors, and the Hello Fall matches the darker leaf. I'm looking for some small stuff to make some clusters, or at least one cluster. There are some small leaf stickers, so I tried that, but I didn't want it on top. I wanted some texture and a little bit more depth to that top cluster. I tried out a couple of my extra pieces and I settled on this pumpkin heart felty, which is a new color I'm going to be having. It balances out that bigger leaf down below. Then I grab the leaf sticker and decide that's going to look cute tucked behind. So I'm going to build a little cluster. We got the 10, which is wood veneer, the die cut, a small leaf, and the heart felty on top. And to add a little more interest, because I do feel that this is a really simple layout, I will staple the heart felty with the Tim Holtz tiny attacher. I want to create another small cluster down with the bottom pieces. So I want to add something else. First I try the yellow flowers, but the wood veneer has the empty spot at the bottom that looks naked. So I grabbed a word strip. I picked one that was that pumpkin color so that at the top we have words and an element, and at the bottom words and an element all in a similar color. I considered not putting this in the video because I don't end up using this on my final layout, but it's all part of the process. So I've kept it in, I just sped it up even more. I tried out several distress ink colors. Some were orangey, there's a yellow and an aqua. I grabbed some Mr. Huey's as well that are a little bit more translucent than the oxides. So I sprinkled all of these on and I let them air dry. I did blot a couple of the darker colors slightly. I liked the effect, but I felt like it was busy and it was going to be detracting from the other elements that I'm putting on top of my photo. I'm going to instead do a very slight stamping on the background. But first I decide to glue everything down. The color cast design wood veneers come with adhesive, so it's nice. You just peel the back off. And for the acrylics, I use the Liquitex matte medium in a fine line bottle. This Felicity Jane stamp set, it's from the London kit, has a teeny tiny leaf, which I've used before. And I tested 3 different distress inks, the dried marigold, mustard seed, and spiced marmalade. I chose the dried marigold because it's very, very light. This might be too subtle, but I know that the stamping's there. I just wanted to give it a little something that isn't going to compete with everything else. Once I added those few little stamp leaves, I could glue the acrylic leaves on. I am putting little tabs on my dividers for the months. So I had pulled these white with the orange and white with yellow, but when I put them near the insert, it just seemed way too stark. So I went and created these tabs, which are made from craft paper and white stitching. So I'll be adding those to my shop soon. And I really liked it because it gave me another color that was like the wood veneer, which means I get my visual triangle. I thought about putting it up on top, but I don't like it. It competes there. So I'm going to have visual triangle, and I don't have the tabs in my album in any particular spot so that they like look like they're in order or anything. So I'm going to put one on the side here, and I did test some colors. I wanted to use the blue, but I couldn't get something that you could see very well. I'm going to use this one, which is spiced marmalade. I picked a sentiment that just says, I heart this. This is October Afternoon catchphrase stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on this tab. It's always a little nerve-wracking. That's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. I will be putting the tab on the outside of the protector like this. There are a couple ways to do it. I could staple it, but I'm going to use double-sided adhesive. This one's from scrapbook.com, but it's just like Score Tape brand. And the reason I'm using this is it's a lot easier to remove from the plastic sheeting if I need to move my tab around. But it will hold, and if I want to, once I know the final position, I can staple it. This protector is actually a little longer, I discovered, because my photo is exactly 12. If I have to trim my page protecting, I can always move this around. But for now, it's gonna go right here so that I put it in this blank area, and I'm gonna call that done. I'll pull it up to the camera so you can see it up close. There you can see the little leaves that I stamped. They are a light pumpkin color. And I've got still photos for you as well. I tried something a little different with some portions that were filmed live and others that were sped up and voiceovered. I know some people like the live with the extra sounds from all the stuff that you're doing, and I'm hoping this speeds up the editing process so I can start getting process videos up for you again. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check the description box below for links and notes. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.